Good day, it's your favorite science student, Madonyechi, and today I'll be enlightening you and educating you on a very exciting topic, which is the extraction of oil from seeds. Now, this topic is all about how seeds can be extracted from oils, and to understand this, I actually have three aims and three objectives for this study. One is that you'll be able to understand the theoretical aspects of how oil can be extracted from seed, and you can be able to understand, or young entrepreneurs who want to start up a business or a small scale business can understand the foundation on how to extract oil from seed, either traditional, manual, mechanical, or using chemical solvents. And also for students to understand chemistry more, because there are some chemistry topics like fat and oil and soap making that involves this my science subject that we'll be studying together today. Now, talking about extraction of oil from seeds. Now, what oil are we extracting from seed? Now, the oil that we're extracting from seed is referred to as vegetable oil, and this is a natural product that can be obtained from plants. Now, plants has the various parts which contains this oil. One is the seed, the nuts, and the fruits. So these are where oils can be found. Now, examples of these seeds that brings out this oil: sesame seeds, granules, coconut, and various others. We even have castor, which produce sesame oil, groundnut oil, and various which have been used for thousands of years in cooking, medicine, in lighting, in cosmetics, even in medicine. How now I want to explain how this oil can be used in medicine and in cosmetics. Now, there are some ointments and creams that we use that are made from this oil, which helps in moisturizing the skin and is very useful in our body system. Now, you know, this vegetable oil we're talking about has various nutrients, and examples of the nutrients that can be found in vegetable oil are vitamin E, vitamin K, and you can also find vitamin E, vitamin K, and various other nutrients. Now, when studying, now what did I tell you my topic? It is the extraction of oil from seed. This study is limited to some factors because it's limited to large production scale, people that are planning how to extract in large quantity. No, you have to know the foundation before actually talking about the structure of this topic. So, how can we extract oil from seeds? How can we extract oil from seed? How can we get the oil from the solid part of the seed? Before I continue, the oil has three structures. It's made up of the outer layer, the middle layer, and the inner layer. Now, the outer layer, we call it the tester. That is the seed cover. The seed cover that protects the seeds from the external regions. Yes, protect the seeds from external regions, conditions, and various things. Then we have in the middle layer. We call that one the endosperm. We call it the endosperm, or we call it the catalodeon. That one contains the oil. That's where the oil is found. And also we have the embryo, which is the part that germinates into a plant. Yes, it also contains little amounts of oil, but the main part of the plant, or the inner part of the plant that contains this oil, is the endosperm. So now, how can we remove this oil from that place? How can we remove the oil from the solid part of the seed? Now, the first thing we can use chemical solvents. Yes, we can use mechanical pressing, we can use traditional pressing or manual pressing. Now, all this can work, but if I want to refer you to the type that will be more productive, I can say you should use chemical solvent, because in chemistry it's one way that oil can easily be extracted from seeds. Now, how do we do that? For instance, the chemical solvent which can use in extracting oil from seed is hexane. Now, for instance, I want to extract oil from sesame seed. So I get the sesame seed, I dry it not to ensure more oil productivity. This is one way of ensuring that the oil yield is much. So I dry it, I wash it and dry it. Then I put it in a container. Then I pour my solvent, which is hexane, inside the container, and I allow the hexane to dissolve the oil in the seed. So when the oil is dissolved in the seed, now together, all the mixtures are together, both the solid part of the seed, the oil, and the hexane are together. Then we can now use what we call in chemistry separation technique. Now, in order for us to remove the oil from the seed, we have to use what we call filtration or decantation. But I will use filtration because filtration is more productive than decantation in some various aspects. So when we remove the residue solid out, it remains the remaining mixture, which is the hexane and the oil is still remaining in the container. And how can we separate it? Now you find out that the hexane has a lower melting point because it's an organic compound. It has a lower melting point, and the oil has a higher melting point. So which one will go? Is the hexane that will go first. So you can use a distillation tank, and you can still get back your hexane through condensation, and you get your oil back, and you ensure that the pure oil, which now gets the pure oil. Now you have separated your hexane, you have separated your oil, and you have separated your solid. Now you have your oil. That's why I tell you that it's much better, because before you grind the seed and you pound and start pounding using a manual way, it may waste time and energy, but this solvent is more preferred. That's why I may say you can use the solvent. So after that, you can later process it further into soap making. Now this soap making is actually through a process we call saponification, which is the process whereby oil or fatty acids reacts with an alkali. We will call the alkali there is an hydroxide, which is caustic soda, sodium hydroxide, to form soap and glycerol, a slippery and thick liquid, which is safe for the skin. Yes, which is safe for the skin. Now that is one usefulness of oil. It's used in producing soap. Another thing is that in many communities and societies or homes, oils, locally produced oils are more preferred than imported ones or ones they buy, because maybe it's more affordable and less expensive. That is the knowledge of this video. Now, knowledge of this video and knowledge of this study is that it helps in commercial and economic uses. Then we have what we call the problem that you may face or you may encounter when dealing with this study, or when you want to extract seed from extract oil from seed. What are the problems that you may encounter? Number one is that limited raw materials, and I'll also tell you the solutions. Limited raw material, maybe increase in demand, or variation in seasons, or then seasons variations. Not the time for this. For instance, now let's say groundnut. If it's not the season for groundnut, you will not find groundnut. So it may be hard for you making you to extract the oil from groundnut to be limited. But one way to solve that is that you can either store your groundnuts for future purposes, and you also avoid spoilage too. You can store for future purposes. You can collaborate with farmers. You can also have your own separate farming system whereby it's only groundnut you are farming, or you can look for other options. Don't depend only on groundnuts. You can also find other seeds which also has oil, like sesame that has oil too, and is also very useful based on what you actually want to do. Then another limitation is that health risks. Now you know that when you are producing soap with oil, the alkali, which is the sodium hydroxide, is very dangerous to the skin and can cause damages to your epidermal cells in your skin, and which is not actually a good thing. So when you are using those dangerous substances, you need to be careful. Like, one solution is that you should wear gloves to prevent the alkali from touching your skin, and also you should also wear goggles too. So another problem is that so another problem that you may face while extracting oil from seed is low oil yield, and this may be as a result of lack of proper handling, or the kind of method you use in extracting the oil from the seed. For instance, when using manual will produce more result than mechanical pressing will produce more result than traditional pressing, and chemical solvent will produce more result than traditional pressing or mechanical pressing. That is it. And how can you conquer this problem? How can you prevent low oil yield? You handle your seed properly. You make sure you dry the seed, wash the seed, dry it, because drying the seed and making sure that it's dry, it brings out the oil more. Yes, it produce more oil. So that is one of the ways of conquering that problem. Another problem that you may conquer, you may face, is the time and labor intensive. The time that you may be thinking, the time I will use to extract this oil from seed, I will use to do another thing. It's just better I should just buy the one they are selling in the market. But no, you can decide that, okay, you plan yourself properly. Okay, I want to I'm not having anything to do on Saturday. In the morning when I wake up, I'm going to wash the seed and dry it. When I wake up in Sunday, I will grind it, and after grinding, I will now press it out. So you have to plan yourself. Or another thing you can do is that you can ask for more laborers. Yes, you can ask for more laborers to help you. Maybe your classmates, your children, your friends, your family can also help you in the process. And that's all for the problems and the solutions. Now, this for those that are writing WAEC, or for those that are writing WAEC or any external exams, that want to subject based on fat and oil and soap production. For those writing WAEC, topics like fat and oil and soap making may come out, and that's why you need to download this video, watch it and replay it, and listen carefully, because there are some major questions that may come out from this topic. So thank you very much. Like, subscribe, share, follow. I really love you. Thank you very much.